I'm getting the name Ken Webster, and I'm getting the word knobhead.
Right, okay, I am at, where am I, York Comedy Festival, and I'm here to interview an absolute legend, a proper comedy legend, but I don't recognise him, and I don't think you'll recognise him either. We're in a makeshift tent, which is his dressing room. His voice is next door, so we're going to have to boom our voices like actors, dear. Guess who this is?
Hello there. Namaste. It's Alex Lowe, Clinton Baptiste and Barry from Watford.
Absolutely. So nice of you to give up your time, Alex. I really do appreciate it.
I am flattered that you're interested in speaking to
Thank
me.
you.
Anyone out there interested?
There's loads of people interested.
Good.
So, let's start with Barry from Watford. Was Barry from Watford before Clinton?
Yes. Well, no, actually, no. I mean, Clinton was originally from Phoenix Nights in 2000. Peter Kay, I'd done a bit with Peter Kay on that Peter Kay thing. I originally met Peter in 1998. He came to review my wrestling show at the Edinburgh Festival for Edinburgh Nights for BBC Two with bomber Pat Roach, you might remember from Alfie.
I remember Pat Roach,
Yeah, so Peter came to review it with Pat Roach, and we sort of hit it off and knocked around a bit together at that festival. And then he very kindly asked me if I wanted to be in his show, That Peter Kay Thing, where I played a character called Sparky in the bingo hall, in an episode called Eyes Down. And then Peter phoned me up one day and said, "Have I got a part for you?" Which was Clinton Baptiste, and here I am 25 years later still ringing out the last few pence.
Oh, it's brilliant, mate. Absolutely. Because I worked with Peter many years ago. We did, it was in between Phoenix Nights 1 and Phoenix Nights 2.
Oh yeah.
And we were doing some Heinz, it was a corporate function for Heinz. And I said to him, "Look, why don't you have a hypnotist on as well, Peter?" He said, "We've just had a clairvoyant, on, so thanks to you, I missed out there."
Oh, man. So is that what you do?
I'm a hypnotist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been doing Blackpool
God.
Pleasure Beats for 37 years.
Yeah.
The world's longest running hypnosis
Can I hypnotise you to lift it up? So I'm disappearing out of frame. You will lift it up.
So where, is Barry from Watford, is he based on anybody? Where did Barry come from?
Yeah, Barry, I mean, I started doing that in 2005, not long after Phoenix Nights, and it was just a cynical attempt to get a character together, and he's like a very old cockney bloke. He's very elderly, and he's, you know, like the way that people's throats sing, so it's all kind of very loose, and he runs out of breath, doesn't have lung capacity.
Yeah.
So that's sort of based on a few of my Cockney family who, during the war, you know, there's a lot of move to get people out during the Blitz and all that, and they moved out to the suburbs. So I grew up in a nice posh area, but they were all cheerful Cockney chumpies from, you know, from the East End.
Right, because with Barry, he sort of starts talking, doesn't he? And then you haven't got a clue what he's saying.
Yeah, I just think, do you know what? That is a cynical attempt to get laughs. Yeah, my lot never sounded like that. But it's just funny that it gets so incoherent after a while, you know. Yeah.
So with Clinton, I mean, obviously Clinton is massive now, isn't he? You're doing a UK tour.
Yeah.
I noticed why are you not doing Scarborough? You're doing Brid, you're not doing Scarborough.
We have done Scarborough. We've done Scarborough every year for some reason. I don't know whether, God, this is the kiss of death, but we've probably grown out of that smaller venue at the Spa. I don't know whether they're big enough for the bigger venue. I'm not certain. But I mean, you know, the booking, it's not up to me. I just go where I'm told. But we're playing the Palladium. We've sold about probably approaching 60% of the tickets for the Palladium, which I'm delighted about. I've got to write the bloody thing, you know.
That's brilliant. So did you start off as a stand-up comedian, an actor? What got you into? So was it Peter that really sort of got you into it?
I tell you what, you know, I was a very serious actor. I used to be Kenneth Branagh's stand-in for a while. Really? And I was with Kenneth Branagh's, you know, Renaissance Theatre Company. Yeah. I did film. I did Peter's Friends, the film. I did Much Ado About Nothing, Frankenstein. I did another film called Haunted. And I did all these films when I first became an actor.
Which Frankenstein did you do?
The Kenneth Branagh one with De Niro. I mean, I played a tiny part in that, but in the first 4 years of being an actor, I'd done 4 films. And of course, as anyone in showbiz would tell you, there's no logical progression to any of it. Yeah. And suddenly I was doing nothing again.
Right, okay.
So I think by the time I got to 30, I thought, you know, what do I really like is comedy. And so I went to Edinburgh, I picked a show to do, which is this wrestling show. And then as a result of that, I did a bit in the 11 o'clock show. And I think probably now, if I'm, not that I'm known for anything, but if anyone knows me, it's for being sort of comedy actor, which is sort of my real passion. I can't pretend I'm really into classical theatre or whatever. But I mean, I was thinking that very often I play the city varieties in Leeds.
Oh yeah.
And every time I'm there, I just think it's my favourite venue.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful.
Because it manages to be both really grand and quite a spectacle and intimate at the same time. I don't know how it manages it.
Is it Frank Matcham theatre?
It could be. All I know is that those lovely balconies just
beautiful,
sort of touching. And what I always think is, you know, people get into the theatre or performing because they've seen something at the National Theatre or in the West End or whatever it is. I think that really growing up, being about 7, 8 years old, watching the good old days at City Varieties, you know, as a young, I don't know anything about performing, but it looks like a lot of colourful people having a great time. And you go, that's what it should be, and it's warm and it's jolly and all that. So I think, you know, that is really why I want to do it, not for any... You know, I just like the fun of it.
The buzz of the theatre.
The buzz.
Same as me. Exactly the same as me.
And
exactly
you know, I spent a career turning up and doing bits and pieces on other people's shows. Where you spend all day sat in a porter cabin, and then about 5 o'clock you go, really, I was here at 6 this morning. Go and do your couple of lines, then go home. But you know, doing a live show, there's nothing beats that absolute adrenaline rush and hearing the audience. And it sounds, you know, a bit kind of saccharine, but it's true. That's the buzz of it. And I was just talking to Bridget Christie, who's through there now. She was just on stage. And I'm firmly of the opinion, I really hope this is true, that with AI and all this boring stuff and digital stuff, it doesn't really interest me. It's so far removed from going and watching another human being perform.
Absolutely.
That I'm kind of hoping there's a huge audience out there today that there is a real flavour and a desire to enjoy just human beings on stage, not ABBA 3D versions, not AI, not some video wall. It's actual human beings, and I'm hoping, God, that human beings will never want to see that disappear. You know?
I think it's mobile phones, isn't it? It's the internet, it's social media, it's all like a right couple of old moaning bastards, don't we?
Sorry about that, kids.
So Clinton, how many times do you get called nonce? You must hear that. Well, you're saying that, you probably don't, because you look nothing like Clinton.
Well, you know what? To be honest, I'm delighted to have a catchphrase, but it is the most appalling catchphrase. It is disgusting. I mean, it doesn't get any lower than calling someone. So, for example, I do a lot of cameos and memos, you know, where you speak to people. And it's always, can you call my mate a nonce? And it's sort of like, I really hope this person is receiving this in the jolly way it's intended. So, you know, look, I would never turn it down. It's great to have a catchphrase. God bless you, Peter, thank God. But as catchphrases go, it's pretty grim, isn't it?
So do you get recognised? Do people say,
occasionally,
Clinton Baptiste, because you look nothing like him?
No, I mean, what is really funny is it's in the last 10 years that Clinton has taken off, and I go and do live shows and, you know, about to do my 5th UK tour. So what's really gratifying, unlike all the famous people you've been interviewing, they're used to it. Honestly, I've spent most of my career no one giving two shits what I'm doing. So if I go to a football match and people come up and say, it's Clinton Baptiste, can we have a photo? Or it's Barry from Watford, and my son is there, it's the biggest thrill, because he's like, what do they want with you? And then I spent years with no one caring. So I do like it when people sort of, I say that, please don't come up and drive me back, you know. But it's really nice if people have seen your work and they like your work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
Do you believe in clairvoyance?
No. I don't believe in any of it. What I will say is, I'd say that, I during the course of doing this, I've spoken to loads of people with experiences and ghostly experiences and paranormal experiences and all that. And I honestly, it's interesting you say, because I'm not sure what I think now. They tell me this stuff and I never stop and think, do I believe that? Don't I believe it? But there's a girl, for example, called, what's her name, Rachel McDonald, and she goes and helps out with Yvette Fielding from Most Haunted. Only because she's interested. I don't think she gets paid, it's just a fun day out. And I did an interview with her for my podcast. I've stopped doing my podcast now, but when I did my podcast, and she was saying, I am telling you, Alex, I sat in a room with a friend of mine and someone came in and then disappeared. And I went, what do you mean disappeared? She went, literally fizzled out in front of our eyes. So there's no reason for this girl to lie to me. I mean, there's no, and she said, what's more, I turned to this one and said, to the person next to her and said, just tell me what you just saw. And she described the exact same thing. And I don't believe that's mass hysteria or something. I think they saw something. Whether it's the undead, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whether it's something to do with quantum physics and it's like a stain on time, or it's somehow time repeat. I don't understand all that stuff. I'm only a stupid actor. But whatever it is, I do believe that sort of thing can happen. I don't necessarily think it's dead souls who can't pass over.
Yeah.
But I think there are a strange anomaly that happen, you know. But
where do you get your material, Alex? Because some of your one-liners are absolute. What is it when you're on about the old people and you call
a biddy fiddler?
That's it, yeah.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
It's just brilliant.
Well, I write the show with a bloke called Brendan O'Hay, who's a brilliant director, and he's my co-writer.
Okay.
And he's a fantastic theatre director, and he's just written that book with Dame Judi Dench about acting Shakespeare.
Okay.
And the only thing is that he and I have to make sure is that it isn't a play that we're doing. It's very much a stand-up thing.
Yeah.
And I think he started off hearing a lot of my filthy jokes and going, oh, don't say that. And now he's worse than I am, you know. Because I say to him, if I'm doing a gig at the Cookie Club in Leicester with a low ceiling and everyone boozed up and you know, condensation dripping from the walls, they don't want a nice 3-act play. They want you to go in, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
So we just have tons and tons and tons of one-liners and wordplay and non-sequiturs and
it's
little
very
fun.
cleverly written.
Oh, that's good. Well, we spend a lot of time on
clever.
it. Yeah, that's good.
It's
thanks.
double on
clever. It's not clever, is it?
It is clever. It's like it's double entendre in the spirit world.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just...
Well, I just like to, you know, I do sometimes say to him, it would be lovely not to do stuff that's all the tropes of the spirit world, and it's all to do with that, and it's all to do with ghosts and the supernatural.
Yeah.
It would be really nice one day to just do a show where Clinton is in his everyday life or something. And you can just do other jokes, because I'm worried we're going to run out of ghost jokes. Some of the best ghost material out there, you know.
Have you got any more characters in the pipeline?
No, I've got Barry and Clinton. I used to do a couple of bits for Christian O'Connell on Absolute Radio. I used to do a character called Damon, who's like, you know, you imagine these sort of very sexy surfboard Australians. Okay. And he was like the absolute opposite of that, living in London, couldn't really get a job, very sort of bit of a ponytail.
Yeah.
And it's just, I thought it'd be really funny. You never see a really uncool Aussie, who's just like a bit put upon and sort of, you know, a bit fussy and a bit of a jerk. And so we used to do that with me phoning Christian O'Connell. I sometimes think I'd like to bring that back.
Yeah.
But I'm so bloody full up with all this stuff.
Absolutely.
So.
Does Barry ever make an appearance on Clinton's show?
It's funny you should say that, because we're discussing it at the moment, and I think it might be a good calling card. Other people involved think, why are you going to give it away free when you could just go and do it and people pay for another ticket? And my wife, who says to me, you're 57, why are you killing yourself? Why don't you, is it too much to try and do that as well? Because I think we'd have to write more material for Barry and we'd have to rehearse it, and I don't know, it's quite a tall order. We've got about 6 months to go till we start this tour, and whether the whole thing is Clinton, whether some of it's a support act. I mean, I would like to do Barry, but...
Do you not think the audience would go absolutely mental if Barry and you didn't tell them?
Well, I hope so. It's very kind of you to say so. I think sometimes people have no idea about Barry, you know, and I hate to say it, sometimes a bit of a north-south divide where I say that I did Barry in Leeds the other week, they loved it, but you know, sometimes the sort of London thing, they get Barry, who's an old Cockney geezer, and they don't necessarily up north, and the same applies. I say that, I don't know if that's true.
Well, I mean, I'm from the north and I get the minty biscuits.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, no, exactly. It's a relatively small island, isn't it? I mean, it's only a drive up here in a day. I mean, God, it's not Australia. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good. I'm thinking about it a lot. I don't know what to do.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, will you, just as Clinton, will you
Yes.
sort of do me a bit of a reading, please?
Please work with me, Ken. I got spirit coming through very, 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 very strongly, telling me, don't worry, that will clear up with a bit of E45. Don't worry about it, just a sweat rash. Don't worry, it's nothing more than that. All right, fading now, Ken. Fading now.
Alex, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
And well done to you for what you've been doing.
Thank you, my
Great stuff.
friend. Thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time. Thank you.